Welcome to Industry Beacon, where we shine a light on the trailblazers, the disruptors, the titans of industry who are shaping the future. We're not just talking about success stories, we're diving deep into the strategies, the innovation, the grit that drives these giants. Get ready to be inspired. I'm Rain Musmi. Today we embark on an elegant journey, one that surpasses borders and stitches together the fabric of global fashion. From Manila's bustling streets to the haute couture runways of Paris, we explore the industry's latest standing, navigating its twists and turns. This is your front row seat to the ever-evolving world of style. From retail fashion to high fashion, I'm really looking forward to our segment today.
Yeah, so my creative genius is so interesting. He really dives deep into his cellular level when it comes to creativity and fashion, and also helping out our countrymen.
Absolutely.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be dazzled as we sit down with the maestro of elegance, Dennis Lustico. From Manila's ateliers to the global stage, he's woven dreams into silk and sheer magic. But it's not just about fashion, it's about fortune.
Tune in and as we unravel the stitches that lead to billion-peso empires. This is Industry Beacon. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Industry Beacon. Our beloved guest is a Filipino fashion virtuoso, a self-taught creator who has honed his craft and drawn inspiration from colors, fabrics, and aesthetics. His signature, fearless experimentation and unwavering commitment to his heart's calling. Mr. Dennis Lustico, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Dennis. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be here.
Welcome on the show.
And guess what? It's your 25th year in the industry, so it is perfect, Rain, that he's actually here with us, going to celebrate his 25th year in the business. Within those 25 years, you know, the industry is grappling with economic uncertainty, sustainability, concerns of inclusivity, fair play, and the environmental impact. How can brands such as yourself, I'll call you a brand because you are a brand,
of course,
navigate the short-term economic challenges while, you know, promoting diversity and fair working conditions?
Okay, I'll focus on two factors in your question. How can we survive during uncertain economic times?
Yes.
And how can we protect the workers?
Yes.
It helps a lot if, you know, while doing the operation of your company, you set us fund for emergency purposes. Case in point, a few years ago in pandemic, we were able to do that when the government told us, I mean the company, to release funds, 13-month pay for the workers. We were able to do that. So yeah, I guess doing your part, responsibility as a company, and then taking it seriously, setting aside fund for your workers is a big help. Yeah.
Very interesting. Actually, I was going to ask you that question, but you went straight for the guttural. Let's go shift. What about talent? How does talent play into this whole industry of yours?
Well, I would say the DNA or the blood or the vein of the whole industry. It starts with talent, and then along the way you hone it, you dream, you persevere, you go for what you want, and yeah, just work hard and go for it. Yeah.
As I mentioned, you've been in the industry 25 years, and of course, talent is a major factor within your industry. Tell us how you started. How did you evolve to being one of the Philippines' top couturiers or designers?
It's actually, I think it has to do a lot with, you know, finding your devotion, finding your love for the profession. At the start, it's seems impossible for me to establish a business because I have nothing. I didn't ask help from my parents because they want me to be a doctor.
Wow.
And then I chose to be a designer because that's what I love. So I cannot ask help from them. So along the way, I met a lot of people who helped and then encouraged. And then on my part, I did my assignment to do, summer courses,
Right.
study here and there. And so along the way, through hard work,
What challenges did you face? I mean, I have to say, you being a doctor, doctors stitch as well during surgery, designers stitch fabrics for beauty. What challenges did you face during those 25
Still
years?
a challenge until now. Number one, talent isn't enough.
Okay.
When you are a designer, you have to learn a lot about business, communications with clients. These things, even until now, I'm still learning. Remember that you actually, at that time, there was no proper course to become a designer. It's not like a 4-year course that you can take. There's none. Everything has, a little short course here, a little seminar here. So you learn on your own. You learn from, let's say, senior designers. So it's a lot more like, about yourself.
So it's still collaborative, right?
Yeah,
In essence, I mean, you've got the weavers that I'm sure, like for example, your barongs are amazing. Of course, you have to collaborate them. But how do you balance that collaboration between tradition and innovation?
I think it has also a lot to do with making them aware that doing things that you're doing now and it's staying in that particular box won't get us nowhere. You have to challenge them of the possibility of the things it can do, which starts from a designer because you're somehow more exposed. So you talk to them slowly into doing things that are new, that are, sort of, we can introduce products to the market in such a way that unexpected.
Right.
So yeah, you have to think forward and take them with you somehow.
Yes, of course, this translates to the women and men you dress. You dress countless celebrities, socialites, people that are fashion forward. If somebody wants to be like a Dennis Lustico, how do you think they can help themselves resonate, by creating their own brand? How do you translate that to the people you dress?
You have to know your market.
Okay.
That's
and what's your market?
I cater to the social set.
Okay.
So you have to be aware of that one. So somehow focus on your mind there, because they require a certain aesthetics. They require looks, fabrics, the materials that you use. So you have to focus on that one, and it's a little tricky because a lot of opportunities open along the way. So you have to choose which one to take. So never let lose of that focus.
And as you said, that talent is not enough. It takes a lot more to be a designer right now than just drawing what your concept, right? So there are a lot of other activities in the fashion industry. You also have mounting fashion shows as well as networking. You now have social media.
Correct.
You also have international expos. In fact, we were just showing your TernoCon, which had been featured in Tokyo, among other countries, among other cities. And so the question is, like, what does it take to still be successful amid all these expenses, amid all these activities? And what activity might have proven maybe the most lucrative, the most sustainable, the one that gives you the biggest returns?
Yes. Okay. I'll just cite an example. Recently, as you mentioned, I joined, they invited me to do TernoCon, which is an activity or a project by Bench, a leading Philippine brand, and then the Cultural Center of the Philippines. Combining these two powerful entities gave me a lot of exposure in social media. For the first time, because of this project, I was able to receive orders from all over the world.
Nice.
First time it happened to us. So we were shipping out ternos from Australia to Netherlands, to everywhere. So I guess collaboration with good industries, industry leaders like Bench is, one profitable endeavor for a designer.
We're receiving orders from all over the world, yes. But do we have the capability to actually service orders from all over the world?
Right. So or the protection of.
Exactly, because of course we're seeing the garments industry, as mentioned by our previous guest, going in a decline. We have the textiles and the manufacturing of garments also going down. So amid all these challenges, still the government does want to help, support, and protect the Philippine creative industries. So fashion being one of the creative industries, what do you think would propel the industry, the fashion industry, to lead Southeast Asia by 2030?
First, it's a tall order actually for the government, is to be able to establish a textile industry. That's what we're lacking compared to, let's say, for example, Thailand or South Korea. They're very, active industries. Whereas here, we only have, a couple of groups of people producing fabrics, and generally it's made of our local fibers. We need to go beyond that one. To be able to establish a real fashion industry, we have to have a solid textile industry. That would come from the government, and maybe in cooperation with private individuals.
Yes, sorry, if you don't mind me interjecting, Dennis, but right now, since it's not set up yet, creatives such as yourself, what kind of dream do you have for us to be able to reach that goal in 2030?
I think forming a group of creatives would be a helpful step. If we cannot do the textile as soon as possible, we might as well nourish the creative talents of the people. So if we cannot do manufacturing, we might as well do creative servicing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What that's very interesting for me. What do you mean by creative servicing?
Say, for example, be a designer for an international brand.
Nice.
Something like that. Let's say, for example, a brand in Japan would hire a Philippine designer, or a brand in Hong Kong would even China would hire a Philippine designer. So yeah, we can export talent. If we cannot export
absolutely
apparel right now, we might as well export talent.
We have a lot of that. We have a lot of talent in the Philippines. So any advice to young entrepreneurs from the Dennis Lustico?
The most important thing is be sure that you love what you're doing. You cannot survive fashion if you don't love it. It's much too tricky and too stressful. A lot of us remained here because that's, we're actually married to the profession. Aside from that, the usual ingredient, work hard, keep the dreams, focus, these things, those are the essential ingredients.
You mentioned earlier that collaborations have proven to be the most beneficial for you in terms of creative output, as well as in terms of sustainable business. Are there still markets or collaborations that you still want to tap? Are there dream brands that you want to work with?
I would love to work with an international brand.
Such as?
Chanel.
Of course, Chanel.
Wishful thinking.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Why not?
I'm sure Ray would like to collaborate.
I mean, to see Philippine
maybe
endeavors.
just one, because they actually have a pool of talents, a pool of creative people working every season to come up with a collection. So maybe become just one of them would be quite an experience for a local talent like me. Yeah.
What about growing Philippine support for Filipino designers like yourself.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's a market that's been fully explored already? So, for example, bringing all your designs and garments to, let's say, Filipinos in Europe or Filipinos in Canada or in North America. Has that been fully explored, or is that something that perhaps government can help you with, or even like private individuals and
I
entities?
think they started that approach in LA right now. I think one particular Filipino brand is exporting their products to LA. I guess, bottom line, it remains on the amount of Filipinos in a particular place abroad. I think more like it's like the food chains like Jollibee would concentrate on where the Filipino communities are. So I guess that's a possibility also.
Great. Sorry, Rain. But that's interesting because you talked about LA and different locations. Is there is there anything happening for you as the Dennis Lustico brand?
Oh, we're doing a project we're having a fashion show for Fashion Aid Philippines. It's a celebration also of my 25th year in the industry. We're doing it on September 5 at the Goldenberg Mansion. Yeah.
Congratulations on that. We're really looking forward to September 5. Yeah, and so with this announcement, of course, we are looking forward to celebrating fashion more here and abroad.
And we can't wait to see what creations you make supporting Philippine fabric.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Thank you so much, Dennis,
Thank you too,
for being with us today.
It's an honor for you to be here, Mr. Lustico.
Thank you. So remember, the fashion industry's fabric is woven with challenges, but also with opportunities for growth and transformation. And it's just not about the numbers, it's about the vision, the passion, the drive that makes these industries succeed.
And that's it for today. Stay tuned for more stories of ambition, innovation, and the pursuit of greatness. I'm Rain Musni.
And I'm Ferdy Salvador. Catch Bilyonaryo on Free TV, Channel 31, and on Signal, Channel 24. Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top. Stay tuned for Pathways to Success.